Hey guys, Ed over here at FICM Repair. So continuing our head series, turning into a series. This question comes in, hey, will the thicker commonized heads from 2006 and forward, will they warp? And there's a related question, and that question is if you buy a set of heads from us, even if it's like an 03 or 4 truck with 18 millimeter alignment dowels, are those heads, the new ones, are they the same thickness as the new versions of the 06, 07 heads, the commonized heads? So answer the second question first. Yes, if you have a 03, 04, or 5 early build 06 truck and you have 18 millimeter alignment dowels, and you say, hey, you hop on FICMRepair.com and you score a set of heads from us, from any number of the vendors that we rep for, whether it be UCF or it doesn't matter. We rep for everybody. So are those heads going to be the thicker ones? The answer is yes. So there's no sense in having to get the little step dowel pins to go from 18 to 20 and changing out rocker boxes and changing out injector hold downs to make that switch, which is what would be required. So let's avoid that. You can just go ahead and get the thicker heads in the 18 millimeter style, and life is good. But to this question, will a set of commonized heads warp? I will tell you that there's no right answer. Nobody can tell you this. All they can tell you is that the likelihood of them warping is dramatically lower. Is there anything guaranteed in this life? Is there ever? Death and taxes. That'd be the sum total of the things that are guaranteed in this life. So, now, that said, that actually brings up another conversation for people to say, hey, look, money's tight. I blew my head gaskets, but I've only, I see how much money studs are. I see how much money gaskets are. I can't swing heads too. And, oh, by the way, the machine shop says I was only 1,000th out or something, 2,000ths out. Am I guaranteed to crack my heads, even at 5 or 6,000ths out if I choose not to get new heads? I know I, quote, should get new heads, but money's money, man. If you don't have it, you don't have it. I totally get it. And yes, we can hook you up with financing and stuff, but we don't want to go down that path. And I'm not a fan of debt just anyway. But if you have to, you have to. So what do you? I don't know. Are you guaranteed to crack heads just because you've reused them? No, again, nothing's guaranteed on that path either. What I would tell you is that the likelihood of them cracking is if you're going to reuse heads, I would not suggest the reuse of heads in higher horsepower applications. So if you're going to be running anything more than like a 155/30 even with reused heads, don't come crying when you have a problem, because probably you're going to have a problem. In my situation, in my experience, when I reused heads back, I don't even know how many years ago, it's been a bit, over 10 years ago, when I reused the heads and they cracked, recognize I was running already a stage 2 cam and 205/30s and a stage 2 turbo, and I wasn't being gentle with it. And so, was I crying when that happened? Well, no. I was sad that I had to, I didn't know about the whole thing about the need for new heads, and had I done that, I wouldn't have had the problem, as is evidenced by the fact that I haven't had a problem since. But what I would say is that if I had just run stock everything else on the truck, there is an incredibly high likelihood that I would not have cracked those heads, even though I chose to reuse them. So recognize there's no guarantee. All there are is likelihoods, right? And the likelihood of you having a problem is way reduced if you go ahead and you can, in any way, shape, or form, financially swing the spend to go ahead and say, you know what, I'm going to get new ones. New is always better, but that's universally true about all of it, right? You go in and do a job, where you changed out injector cup nipples, and here you are a year later, and should you change them out again? Probably not. But would it be better, quote unquote better, if you did? Well, yeah, because newer is better. But do you have to? No. And in that case, I would tell you that you're wasting your money to even do such a thing. Ditto with valve cover gaskets. Yes, they're reusable. So if they haven't been changed in the last 5 years, I would say, yeah, sure, 5 years. I don't want to do things twice. I don't want to leak. I'll go ahead and replace them. But if you were just in there, 2 months ago, please don't change out your valve cover gaskets again, and just as an example. So everything has to be weighed. Everything has to be evaluated to say what's reasonable for you, what works for you, with a whole lot of no right answers. If you call us, we'll help walk you through all the options for your build. And by the way, we're at a point now where there is no customer ever who orders on FICMRepair.com and doesn't get a phone call from one of us to verify your order prior to taking your money. The only time that we would take your money is if we're trying to call you, we can't get a hold of you, and it's like an expedited order, like a next day or second day, or if we can't get a hold of you for like 3 days on a ground order, and we're like, okay, we'll just release it. But we're gonna try to call you and have a conversation, say, hey, what do you got going on, to make sure you're not buying stuff that you just don't need. So order in confidence, knowing that. And if that's not good enough, you want to make absolutely sure you're gonna get a phone call. So this is another video, but I don't expect all you guys to watch all my content. Holy buckets, it's just a lot at this point. But you can put an order through, and for what you think you need, and just put as payment method Visa. All Visas start with 4s, but a 4 followed by 15 ones. And if you do that with a future expiration date and any CCV of your choice, our system will let your order through, and then you're guaranteed to have us not take your money because you won't have given us your card. So I hope this helps, and just know, FICMRepair.com, we're all in this together. The goal is to tell you stuff, never ever ever sell you stuff. All right, thanks much. Take care. We'll see you. Bye bye.